Hi, I'm Joan Silva, your money dream coach. I also help with tidying up. I'm called the Tidy Up Gal. But today I'm talking about how the compromise of your credit file by Equifax affects you. Sure, you could research that online, or it's been in the news and some really good advice and guidance has come from there. However, here's a couple things I'd like to share with you, and hopefully this will be brief because the topic usually kind of makes us go, ooh, who cares? However, when 143 million people are compromised, and it isn't just your credit cards or your credit file that was the biggest issue, it's your social security number and your driver's license, which is your identity in the financial world and in the world. So, here's the thing. Many of you may think, and by the way, I happen to be an identity theft professional, helping people actually recognize what is identity theft and how to prevent it. So that is my credential, ID Theft Prevention Specialist. But let's go to the fact that many of us think that enrolling in some kind of a monitoring program is sufficient. It's helpful, but let me say that it's just sort of like locking the barn door after the horse has already gotten out. Who cares if you've been compromised if it's already happened? If someone's stolen your Social Security, opened an account in your name, or used your credit. That doesn't much help you when you have to then follow up and do something to fix it. And quite often, that could be legal action, court, attorneys, and lots of paperwork. So it's not a bad idea to have a credit monitoring system, but it's inadequate. That's what I want to get clear in this message to you today. It's not enough. And in truth, I'm going to share a couple things that you can do going forward now and really is necessary and has been necessary for us to do all along. We just tend not to until something raises the red flag and says, oh my goodness, I need to do something. So other than enrolling in those credit monitoring systems, which somehow signing up for Equifax is one, kind of bothers me. They're the ones that compromised me in the first place. Why would I pay for their system? Although supposedly if you're compromised, you do get it, some form of it, free. But personally, sort of like hiring the criminal who has broken into your house to protect your house. I might be a little extreme, but that's me. You have to judge for yourself. So I don't tend to like the companies that are collecting my financial data. And by the way, these are profit companies. So keep in mind, they are not a nonprofit. They are there to make money. And the creditors are paying to put information on your credit file. So they pay to do that. They are a member of the credit industry. So here's the things. I have a couple notes here, so excuse me while I glance at them. So after you've enrolled in that monitoring system, and again, not adequate enough, here's the thing. Equifax has set up a temporary, I would assume, temporary place you can go to check to see if you're one of the ones that got compromised. I personally don't trust that little link, having done it. And let's see, it's equifaxsecurity2017.com if you want to check it out. And it'll say, yes, you were potentially compromised. And then you have to sign up for their system. I don't care for that because 143 million, they could just automatically put you as compromised. However, if you feel safe doing that and you wish to do that, that has been set up for all of us to use. So it's equifaxsecurity2017.com. Here's the things that I've been teaching for years that we needed to do and you'll do now to make sure you're safe. So one of the things you can do is to freeze your credit file. Now that can be a real pain because then if you want to get credit, you have to jump through hoops to unfreeze it. Quite often that's costly too. Maybe not costly. There's a fee to set it up and a fee to release it. Now if you're not going to get any credit anytime soon, which by the way, I encourage people to get off credit, and that includes other types of credit, whether that's lending for cars, etc., not just credit cards. But that's another topic for another day. If you're not planning on getting any credit anytime soon, then you might want to freeze your entire file, and they have to get in touch with you in order to open it. So that means if someone's using your information to set up an account, then they have to notify you. Very specific directions on how to get hold of you. The other thing that you can do is to check your credit reports. Annualcreditreport.com is a site that gives you a free credit report through the bureaus every year, no fee. Now, recognize that it's free. If you want to do it more than once, you have to pay for it, and that includes those services that send you regular credit reports. You might want to put on an extended fraud alert. Anybody can put a fraud alert on their credit file. However, you might want to put an extended one if you feel you're the one that's being compromised. If Equifax and the other bureaus actually have said you're compromised, then put on a fraud alert, but make sure it's an extended one. And here's the biggie. This is the one that I see a lot. People don't tend to review their credit card statements, the ones that you use regularly. And here's the one that's actually the most dangerous, are the ones you use infrequently. They are maybe older cards, you've put them aside, maybe you opened up a retail store and you used it only once and you just don't tend to use it more often. Those are the ones you definitely want to get access to, review them, and make sure they're not being used. Because, by the way, that's exactly what they're looking for, is those inactive credit cards that you're not paying attention to, and they'll go ahead and use them because they got that information through that compromised credit file issue too. Generally, you want to take all these steps regularly anyway. But here's one I heard that I hadn't thought of that I thought was really helpful. File your tax returns for 2017, which is coming up, as soon as you can. And the reason why is that many times those who have compromised our files, our Social Security number, and our driver license, they're waiting for tax season, and they'll file a return and get your money anyway, under your name. Whereas if you've already done it, IRS and your state will go, well, wait a minute, you've already filed. So the sooner you do it, the better. This is not done to be fear, it can encourage fear, because, by the way, our credit files are out there all the time. Many times we don't even know they've been compromised. And they've done a lot to protect you. However, just like being your own advocate in your health care and other things, your diet and your money, this is where I'm encouraging you to be your own advocate and put a few extra things in place. In particular, review your credit card statements, make sure it's your charges, and your credit reports. Why your credit reports won't show up anywhere else. Because if they open up a credit card in your name, they often change the address and you'll never see it. It'll go to them. So what you want to do is check your credit card statements and your credit reports. Again, I'm Joan Silva. You can get me at joansilva.com. You can also get me through my website, joansilva.com, and yourmoneydream.com. Again, my email is joan@joansilva.com. And you're very welcome to get in touch with me if you have any concerns. I do have a free consultation where we dive into whatever it is that's your issue and see whether or not it's something you need more help with. Thank you for joining me, and Tidy Up and Improve Your Money Life is my regular writing.